Oh, computers.
Is she freezing? I'm not sure. She's moving.
Basically, let me just get started anyway. There we go. Okay, the computer has caught up with me. So welcome everybody to Professional Networking Now, where we're building lasting relationships. Fun little slides. So a little bit of our PNN etiquette. We ask that everyone be kind. We know everyone is busy, but please try to stay engaged. If you decide to step away, please turn off your camera. Keep yourself muted unless you are speaking. And just a reminder, as you heard, the meeting is being recorded. So if there's anything that you don't want to be shared with the world, because it does go onto YouTube, just keep that in mind. So first, well, we did introduce ourselves beforehand. That's okay. If you guys want to, we can do another quick introduction and say what referrals we're looking for. I don't think we hit that factor. And our presenter today is Miss Kari Dey of Primerica. She's going to be talking about investment vehicles for business owners. And next, we'll have helpful hints. It'll be 10 minutes. Today's presenters for helpful hints is going to be our own Joanne Zigari, and she's going to be talking about what I do when I start feeling a sore throat coming on. Then we're going to kind of slide into our weekly announcements. If anybody has any awesome deals, events, sales, or causes that you would like to promote, let us know about it. And make sure to put that in the chat as well with any links. And we'll go into, well, we'll probably stay in the group together since we're kind of small today. This is normally our breakout rooms. Today's topic this week is let's talk about the know, like, and trust in business and how you use it in your business. Did we do that last time? Maybe, but that's okay. We still could talk about it.
Oh gosh, right. I didn't change that.
That's okay.
You know what? I'll just chat. I think today
we'll kind of slide right into the free for all. This is usually when I turn off the camera and we feel like we can talk more freely. You guys, if there's anything you want to brainstorm about, any creative discussion, anything that you're wrestling with in your business, maybe we can help you out. So, and I'm going to stop sharing now. Okay. There you are. Okay. So that's our meeting agenda. So we'll kind of go right into introductions. We did some basic introductions so far, but maybe we can go around and just say what would be a really good referral for us right now. And I don't know if Christina, you're able to talk. You're probably driving. So I'm going to keep going around. And Kari, how about you? Do you want to do a quick introduction and a referral for you?
So my name is Kari Dey. I'm a regional leader at Primerica Financial Services. I have 20 years of financial experience. I guess you say perfect client would be a middle income family, because we specialize in showing families how to not only get out of debt, but become properly protected and financially independent. I do also specialize, not just in that, but small business retirement. So yeah, that's me.
Yay. And then next, Richard. That's a good referral for you.
Good morning, Rich Lupino. I am President and CEO of Infinity Development, a full stack web development agency, and 46% of all Google searches are for local businesses. And you know, Google does billions of searches a day, so that's a lot of searches going out there locally. So your online presence really has an impact on your bottom line, and it's important that you show up where people are looking. So I am offering a free consultation I would put some of my information in here. I'm gonna put a link to that calendar for a 20-minute consultation, where I'll give you a couple, like 3 tips on how you can improve yours. Good referral for me are any small businesses looking to get found, and also marketing agencies and PR firms that kind of help set up websites for clients.
Awesome.
Nice. Awesome. Thank you. And Joanne.
Hey, hi.
Pick up.
Okay. Sorry, 2 good referrals. Our referral for Blue Dove Marketing is any small business that's looking to get their business in front of people who never knew they existed. And the other business, anyone who loves jewelry, inexpensive jewelry. And I should be wearing some, but I'm a little out of it. I'm sorry, guys. I was driving all night and I'm exhausted. So yeah. So if you love jewelry, yes, let me know. Good deal. Oh, there she is. She's back.
I'm back. I was driving.
That was quick.
I live very close to the Hopewell Rail Trail, so.
That's awesome. I'm really close to the Poughkeepsie one. So.
Well, then Megan, we have no excuse because I was just the last couple weekends.
Meet halfway one day. Oh,
Uh-oh. You froze, Christina.
she probably went from the mobile to the Wi-Fi, and sometimes that causes it to freeze.
All right.
Well, there she is. Okay. You want to do a quick intro and what's good referral?
Sure. Christina Lemmy with Multimedia Content Solutions. I provide ghostwriting services as well as podcast editing services. A good referral to me is solopreneurs who have established businesses and who understand the value of having online content, whether that be blog posts or lead magnets to grow your email list, or actual products that you want to sell. Yeah, and so that could, also, web designers and, anybody who's working, I know we've Rich and I have talked. I'm always happy to assist and support anybody who's developing a website, and if writing is not their forte, I'm certainly available.
Perfect.
Okay.
And then that leaves me. So everybody knows me. I'm Megan Romero. Let's see, my multi-business craziness of I am the owner and primary of Phoenix Variable, named to hopefully be changed within the near future. I do bookkeeping and financial consulting. And that leads very nicely with working as I'm downline of Kari, and I do life insurance. Hopefully one of these days I'm getting harangued to go and get my investments license. If I could get 2 seconds to study every once in a while, that would be fantastic. And then for funsies, because I'm not busy enough, I just do a couple lives for doing paparazzi. I sell paparazzi. I have a lot of fun with that. I have a pop-up shop coming up at the Manor at Woodside next Thursday. Is it next or the 9th? Sorry, it's not next Thursday. It's the Thursday after. So that's going to be kind of fun. So if anybody's in the area and they want to come and see pretty jewelry, come on over. So,
Woo!
yay. So that's me. My perfect referral would be any small business that's looking to optimize their finances in the best possible way, like to work with somebody that's going to look at the big picture of their business and help them find ways to save money and streamline their business processes, that's a really big thing for me. I really love doing that stuff. So that's me. So I think we'll slide right into doing our speaker. Do you have anything to share, Kari?
Like a presentation?
All right. I mean, anything. Like,
No, I
share
was
your
looking
screen
for-
at all, or just talk.
I was looking for an actual like presentation to put something up, but I honestly, I don't have one. But yes, we can definitely talk about investing and more specifically small business, because all of us here are 1099, correct? So that means that we're technically a small business. Retirement, investing for retirement when it comes to small business is a lot different than just, somebody that has a W-2. Because when people have a W-2, sometimes their employer has, a 401k and they just contribute to it, and, their employer matches to a certain extent. But when you're 1099, that's something that we have to take care of. And nobody's being like, hey, let me show you how to invest a little bit until you have a lot of it to invest, right?
Yeah.
So there's ways of doing that. And there's ways for, those of us that are business owners that we can invest where we don't have to invest a massive amount of money, but we could if we wanted to. Do you know what I mean? So I'll start off with the first two common types of investments, retirement investments. And these are more individual plans, and they are for people who are either W-2 or 1099. So the first one we have is a traditional IRA. Has anybody heard of a traditional IRA before? Okay, so it's very common. What it is you're only allowed to contribute, for those of us that are under 50. Right now, the contribution limits for 2021 are $6,000 a year. If we're over the age of 50, we can contribute an additional $1,000, which is called a catch-up contribution. The thing about a traditional IRA, though, is that it could work to your advantage. Especially being self-employed, in that all of your contributions are tax deductible this year. Okay. So basically what that means is that if you make 50,000 and you contribute 5,000, you go to your tax lady, and at the end of the year, she says, okay, you only have to pay taxes on 45,000. That's pretty much the general gist of it. Okay. So you're not paying taxes on it this year, but you are going to pay taxes on it after 59 and a half. Okay. And that's your key age right there, 59 and a half. If you take from any qualified retirement plan prior to 59 and a half, you're penalized 10%. Okay. There are a few circumstances where you can take, like if you buy a first home, if you become totally disabled, catastrophic medical expenses, party favorites, stuff like that. But nobody wants those, right, in their life. So that's your traditional IRA. It's tax deductible the year you put it in. It grows tax deferred, but when you take it out, it's 100% taxable. Okay. So that's your traditional. One of my favorites is a Roth IRA. Anybody ever hear of a Roth? Okay. Anybody can contribute to a Roth, right? You just have to have earned income. Okay. Now, unemployment, Social Security, disability, child support, and even alimony, that doesn't count as earned income, right? Got to be W-2 or 1099. The cool part about a Roth is, again, there are income limits. So anybody who is dollars and cents, if you max out your Roth IRA for 10 years, and in a couple of years or whatever, it grows to 100,000. At retirement, 59 and a half, you take out that 100,000, whether you take out $10, 10,000, or all 100,000, all 100,000 is tax-free. Okay. So Roth IRAs are a great way to offset that tax liability from those of us that have had, traditional IRAs or even 401ks. Okay. Because it's tax-free money, because we've already paid tax for anybody. Well, let's talk this year for tax deductions. So there's something called a SEP. SEP. It stands for Simplified Employee Pension. Does anybody in here have employees? Okay, fantastic. This is perfect for those of us that don't have employees. So for Megan, your employee would have to be full-time and on your staff for a minimum of 3 years. Okay, so a SEP, the cool part about a SEP is it works just like a traditional IRA. The only difference is that your contribution limits. Okay, your contributions to a SEP IRA are upwards of $58,000 a year, or 25% of your modified adjusted gross income. So $1,000 a year with your 1090, and upon distribution after 59 and a half, it's 100%. That income limit anywhere between, 100, because being married now, if you put your spouse as your employee, you can contribute for your spouse as well, which is great. It's tax deductible as a business expense. Fantastic. So there's another way you can save for retirement for your spouses, and you're great. Okay. So now that's your SEP IRA. I have a SEP IRA. I recommend that anybody that has 1099, but for people with small businesses, you can go as conservative as you want, and you get to pick them, which is fantastic. So if you speak to an investment advisor that, you tell them your concerns, hopefully me, tell me your concerns, what you like and what you don't like. And then you get your retirement account catered to you. Okay. Which is how investing should be. It's very personal. So it should be catered to you. My investing strategies are a lot different than Megan's, because my life is different than Megan's, and it's not a good thing and it's not a bad thing. It's just, we're different, so your investing strategy should be catered to you in your specific circumstances. So that's a SEP. There's also something called a simple. Okay. Simple, that stands for a savings incentive. It's a match for employees. That's for companies that are, a little bit bigger. They have less than 100 employees, and they both contribute. Okay. I don't really know if that would be something that would be suitable for you guys, because the contribution limits for that is only, you can't go any higher than 13,500. Okay. But with the SEP, what I forgot to mention is that only the employer contributes. With the SEP, employees don't contribute. Okay. Yeah. And then of course we have, our traditional 401ks, but again, they're very costly to administer. All of these different types of retirement plans have the same thing in common. It's I don't want to say you're investing, and sometimes you have large investment firms, like I said in the beginning, they don't touch you unless you have like 6 figures. Okay. Over 20 years ago when, I started working for this company, my vice president, he asked me what I wanted. And I said, well, I want to be a millionaire. And he was like, okay. And I was like, well, how do I do that? And he goes, you need to save more. Those are my favorite 2 words, save more. And I'm like, okay. So, and when he told me, he said, Kari, if you save $157 a month at an average rate of return of 9% in 30 years, you'll be a millionaire. And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, well, how does that happen faster? He's like, save more. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I did. And, investing, especially saving for whether it be something, in the immediate future or later on, long term, you need to start paying yourself first. So I'm a big fan of, you being your number one bill. I get paid. My money is already, a percentage of it is already transferred into a savings account, whether it be my money market or my retirement, because I realized a long time ago that if I don't pay myself first, nobody else is going to pay me. You know what I mean? You can borrow for everything. You can borrow for a car. You can borrow for a house. You can borrow for college. The one thing in this world that you cannot borrow for is your retirement. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to work until I die. That just doesn't seem attractive to me, But yeah, there's several different options that, are available to you. Like I said, the SEP IRA is usually pretty perfect for, a lot of small business owners, in combination with a Roth IRA. retirement should be looking pretty sweet. And then once it comes to retirement, there's strategies that need to be put in place. You don't just leave stuff at a certain area. It has to be will generate an income for you, a tax-free income for you at retirement that will help offset, those contributions that you have to take from your traditional IRA as well as your SEP. Okay. Anybody have any questions?
Now, but I'm also 66.
Okay.
I have a teacher's pension. I have my Social Security. I have what I inherited from my late husband, stocks and bonds and things like that. I am in network marketing now as another stream of income for me being a single parent. I have a 34-year-old son, and also just a single person living in the world trying to, make ends meet with a pension and a Social Security. And I know that, it's so important to have multiple streams of income. So that's why I, chose to get into network marketing. But I couldn't do a SEP unless I did it with my son, made him an employee using, with my 1099.
But you
right?
have 1099 income, correct?
I have 1099 income. I have Social Security income. I have pension income. I have dividend income.
As long as you have 1099 income, you can have a SEP. There's no income limits. You don't have to have.
I thought you said for me, you had to have an employee. And
No.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
For those of us that don't have employees, because nobody wants to contribute to somebody else's stuff unless they're your spouse and you actually like them.
Right.
So
yeah,
I like my spouse, so I contribute for him. But
right.
yeah, and you said you're 62?
66.
66. Okay. So even if a SEP IRA isn't what's suitable for you, it seems to me like you have all of these different things that are like you have here. You need a strategy, something that says, okay, we're going to take this, and we're going to whoop, and this is your strategy. Does that make sense to you? Because yes, you need multiple streams of income, but you need to have a strategy that makes it make sense, because you have your Social Security income and your pension, and a lot of other, incomes. So that strategy, we can put together for you, and have it make sense.
Okay, thanks.
You're very welcome.
Now,
Anyone
with the SEP, I was under the impression it doesn't matter if you were 1099, because I'm actually W-2 because I have a pass-through, or I have an S corp.
Okay.
Which is not, that makes me W-2. I was under the impression I could still do a SEP.
You can't now, as far as with the whole S corp, I'm really not familiar with how an S corp works. Honestly, I have no idea.
It's just a pass-through.
Okay.
So instead of the corporation owning everything and me paying taxes on dividends, it just passes straight down to me, and I pay the taxes like it's income, so I don't get double taxed.
Okay, so you're just W-2.
Well, I pay myself, so that makes me W-2, yeah.
And you don't. Okay, so when you file, you file with a W-2 and 1099?
I don't know. I just file.
I don't do taxes. Like, I have no idea.
Right? No. I have my accountant do it. Of course, I got my business taxes. Mm-hmm. He says how much money the business makes, and then I pay myself. So it's the W-2, and I pay taxes on both. I just don't double tax the corporation, because with corporations, you tax the income. I take a dividend and tax a dividend. I don't have to do any of that. It just gets taxed the one time, and it's a pass-through. So I don't take dividends. I take contributions.
Okay,
That's a legal thing. It's not for anything for investment, but it makes me 1099 is really what the bottom line is.
And what did your accountant say? Did your accountant tell you that you can have a SEP or you cannot?
I have BNI and I have a couple. Actually, I know how we can join, so let's do this Primerica. And I have somebody else. And he didn't specify it was 1099 or W-2. He just kind of talked about small businesses.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I think you can probably, I mean, I have a W-2
Thought I
also,
could.
because I also teach. I teach a life insurance course. So I'm 1099 and W-2, and I have a SEP. It's not specific like you could only have a 1099, but if
Okay.
you're a small business, and since you own the S corp, you're, in my opinion, you're a small, but you really need
No,
to,
I am a small business, yes.
then you can contribute.
I thought, that's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
Anybody else?
Nope.
All right, all good. Thanks. I'm going to put my contact information in the chat. So if anybody has any questions or, anything, you can definitely, reach out to me.
Definitely.
Okay.
Kari's the guru of investments. I always go, we have a meeting after this. So it's an exciting thing to work with her, and she has some really good head on her shoulders about what's going to do best for the people that we deal with. Awesome.
Yay.
Joanne.
Very nice. Thank you.
Yeah. So I think we'll go on to Joanne we're going to go to helpful hints.
Helpful hints, it's about just about anything. So I thought that while I was in Florida, I started to, and it could have just been the environment, allergies, the cat sleeping with me, which I generally don't allow to be with starve for effect. Ways, come September, October, I start getting sick. All right. I get colds. And the first thing I get is a sore throat. Very first thing that I get. That's how I know it's coming. And now with everything going on with this COVID crap and everything else, you really need to know how to keep yourself optimal as far as your immune system goes. So one thing that I absolutely love, and I found it by talking to my cousin Denise, and her daughter Madison was born, and she has this liver issue, and went to the doctors, had her on all sorts of medication. And if you have a liver issue and you're running medication, well, that's where all the waste goes from the medication. It's really hard on the liver when you are, on that kind of thing. And things were not working well for her. So she decided first, of course, she made sure of what she was doing, educated herself on natural healings and stuff that is not pharmaceutical, because I swear the pharmaceutical companies are out there to kill us and not to help us. So, and I get a lot of information from her. She's freaking amazing. So she told me about this stuff called Colotal Silver. Has anybody heard of Colotal Silver? I'm gonna tell you something. You need to have Colotal Silver on your kitchen counter and take it every freaking day. It tastes like water. It's not a big deal. Okay, so Colloidal Silver, and I'm just going to read this because it's easier for me to do that. Is also called nano silver or silver water. It is a liquid substance that contains that they're silver are made. They're just there's 0.9999 hours of silver and grander vitalized ultra pure water. Now that means nothing to us, but let you know that it's just tiny silver particles. Like, Joanne, I'm gonna eat silver. What are you telling me? Well, let me stop you right there. Like, I make my own dialogue like that. Okay, so colloidal silver has a long history, and the use of silver even goes back many centuries and occurred around 400 BC. For the first time in our history. Hippocrates, the father of contemporary medicine, praised silver for its positive effects on healthcare. Let me say this, and this of course goes along with Michelle's lines as well, is that all the healing that you need is within this earth. Okay, it is all within this earth. So he was praised for positive effects on healthcare, among other things, in 1861. Scottish chemist Thomas Graham figured out how to produce colloidal particles. These particles are so small they remain suspended in a liquid, and thus silver water was created. 8 years later, in 1869, the, oh my gosh, oligodynamic effect was described by the Swiss Carl von Nageli. This research showed that colloidal metal suspensions from, for example, silver, metal, and tin had a microbial oh jeepers, I'm so sorry, God. Guys, I'm so freaking tired. I can't even read. Microbiocidal effect. Over years, various metal and antiseptic applications have been developed from this. So what I have found talking to Denise and learning this stuff here, it's called Sovereign Silver. It's colloidal silver. You can get this right on Amazon. I think this bottle is about $19. This is 10 ppm. There's another one I'm going to be getting. It's a bigger bottle. It's on Amazon as well. It has a green label. It is 20 ppm. You can use this on any open wounds. You can use this for pink eye. You can use this for any infections. You have a sore throat coming on. I just take 2 dropperfuls. I take it like morning and night, 2 dropperfuls. If you take it at night before you go to bed, just take 2 dropperfuls and kind of let it sit on your throat. When you wake up in the morning, your sore throat is gone. This stuff is amazing. It's called Colloidal Silver. Again, I'll show it to you. Notice the label. It's the only label that's on. You go to Amazon, you can grab this. This is for immune support. Guys, I kid you not. If there's a cold anywhere in the vicinity of me, it will find me. It literally will be busy doing something else, and I will walk in and it'll do this. Ha ha ha, there she is. And will literally find me. Do I get a flu? No. Do I get any of this other stuff? No. Do I get colds? They love me. So this is what I do. So when I was in Florida, I started getting this sore throat. My ears were bothering me. I was like getting a cough. I'm like, oh my God, am I getting COVID? Because now I'm paranoid, right? Now I'm paranoid. So anyway, the only thing I brought with me was my silver. So I took my silver in the morning when I started feeling it, when I woke up. And I went outside because I was in Florida, and you know, you can do this anywhere as long as there's sunshine, even in the winter. I went out and I stood in the sun for about 10 minutes because that's really what you should do. Take 10 minutes. And I just stood there like this. I was leaning against my car because my daughter has a new apartment and she has absolutely nothing except a couch. And I couldn't bring that outside to sit in it. So I leaned against my car and I just let the sun, just kind of soak up the sun for about 10 minutes. Within 2 days, took some more colloidal silver before I went to bed, took it again when I got up. Within a couple of days, I'm fine. I don't have anything. Of course, drink my water or whatever. And also if you're feeling something coming on, if you can rest, sleep is like, that's when your body does its healing, is when you sleep. So I have to tell everybody right now, get yourself a bottle of colloidal silver and use it. It has many, many uses. With her, oh, also the cat had a scratch on her ear. I put a little colloidal silver on it. I just put it in my hand and kind of like this and kind of dripped it on there, cleared it up immediately. My dog had a little, like, I don't know what was on her chest here, whatever. Look, whatever was it? I didn't know if it was a wound or something, but I kind of opened it a little bit because I didn't know if it was like a blemish or something. And I took some colloidal silver, dripped that on there. Within a couple of days, dried up and gone. Colloidal silver is an amazing, amazing product that works like almost immediately. We're so used to everything working now because you take medicine and it works now. Medicine only masks shit. All right, but it works now. If you're a now person, you want to get yourself colloidal silver, honey, it can't hurt as far as that goes. So you can use it for anything. Denise had used it. She has a couple of cats and they got a little squabble, and Loki got a little scratch on his cornea. She just used some colloidal silver on his eyes, cleared him up almost immediately. He was better. So it's really, really good stuff. So you want to get this into your arsenal. Order it today. I hate Amazon, but I'm sorry, some things you just have to do. Get it from Amazon. Do yourself a favor. Something else you might want to try is Mary Ruth's Ionic Silver. Zinc rather. Ionic zinc, very important. It's a liquid. Zinc is sometimes hard to take. the taste and everything. But this is not bad. And this is Mary Ruth's, what do you call it? Organics. It's right here. Just look up Mary Ruth's online. You could order it right online. Take your Isonic zinc. Zinc is going to take, you feel something coming on, take zinc. You don't want to take this regularly as it can cause diarrhea and stomach issues. But if you feel like a cold coming on or something is not right, take yourself, and I think this one is 6 dropperfuls. It's not a full dropper, only this much comes into the dropper. It's like measured. 6 of them is a serving. This is really super good. So, and I'm just my little helpful hints. It works for me. Colloidal silver is amazing. You don't want to not have it. I kid you not, guys. You don't want to have it. Something else I do, usually at night, but I will take at night because I want to sleep. I will take chamomile tea. During the day, I'll use a green tea. I use my chamomile, and then I put a tablespoon of Bragg's apple cider vinegar with the mother. And the mother is the sediment that's on the bottom. So you kind of want to shake that bottle up gently to get the sediment up into the actual vinegar. And then you put a tablespoon of that into your tea, along with 1/8 of a teaspoon of cinnamon. Try to get Saigon cinnamon. It's like a better cinnamon to use. And also I use a, help me, the sweetener, the natural sweetener.
Honey?
Stevia. It's a liquid stevia, and it's just like a squirt of liquid stevia, any kind, so long as it's good. I use an organic one, and mix that up and drink it. And it kind of tastes like a hot apple cider drink is what it tastes like. But the benefits of apple cider vinegar on your immune system and on your body in general is amazing. So in the morning, I'll have it, especially if I'm fasting. So I'm fasting today because I'm huge and I need to drop some weight. So I have to throw stuff in there. So in the morning, I will have it with green tea, which I just had. And at night, I'll have it with chamomile tea. And just mix it all, stir it up, and just drink it nice and hot. It tastes good. It's soothing because it's warm. It tastes like an apple cider, hot apple cider. It's absolutely delicious. And you can't go wrong. These are the 3 major things you can't go wrong with, guys. You need to get this into your body, into your house, and into your bodies for sure. Thank you very much. Have a lovely day.
Thank you very much. And you know me, I'm a proponent for natural, all natural. Because
you can make this too. The silver, I just found out there's an actual little generator. So this little generator, it's $249. And the silver sticks come with it. And you put it, I believe it's distilled water, and you just leave it run. And I guess it puts those silver particles into the water, and you can make your own colloidal silver. I'm too lazy for that. So I'll just the 2 bigger bottles comes in a set, 2 big bottles. If I can find it, I'll put it into our chat group. And I think it's like $27 for the 2 big bottles. They're like big bottles. I was like, because they went to Denise's when I was there, like, there's something you're not telling me here, because this is the one I've got. What is this? So that one is 20 ppm, but she said it's absolutely fine and it works really well and it's a really good product. So just let you know if you go on to Amazon.
Yeah,
I think
and by doing that, what you're doing is what I purport all the time. You're healing from the inside out, and that's what we need to do. We're so used to healing from the outside in. In reality, we need to heal from the inside out. And Joe, if you want to I do intermittent fasting, and I'm telling you, it is a great way to realign your body and realign your metabolism.
I'm trying. I'm a stress eater, and I'm an addict.
Yeah.
I'm a food addict.
I'll send you some information on intermittent fasting. I do a 16, 1, and 8. So I fast for 16 hours. So I stop eating at 8 o'clock at night. And then I don't eat again for 16 hours. And then I eat for 8 hours. And then I fast again. Half your weight in water is what you need to take in every day.
Water is so important.
Yeah, water is your cleanser. I mean, it really is. But intermittent fasting, there's a lot of benefits for that. There really are. And it really does help to just reset your body.
The body heals itself because instead of using it takes a lot of energy to digest your food. So when you're eating all the time, your body is using that energy to break down that food all the time. And therefore, it doesn't have the energy to go other places to do the other jobs it needs to do. And that's like healing your other areas. So when you stop eating, I like to fast during the night because there's your 12 hours right there. You know, you stop eating at 6, I stop eating at 6 o'clock at night generally. And then, you know, you go to bed at like 10, 11 o'clock, whatever. When I'm done eating, I go, that's it, you're done. You know, I'll have my drink with my apple cider vinegar and that, you know, about 9 or so, go to bed. And then, you know, that whole time you're sleeping, you're fasting, you're in your fast. So a good portion of the time is spent sleeping, makes fasting a lot easier. And then from 6, and then usually I'll eat around 2 or so. So I usually do like an 18-6, and a couple of times I will do a 20 and 4. My problem is that I have a hard time sticking to things. That's just my personality. That's me, my issues, whatever. So I really have to, you know, get a handle on my stress, you know, trust in whatever it is, that's everything is going to happen as it should, and stop trying to make things happen. What are you going to do? But you know, I do know intermittent fasting does work. My cousin Denise did it. She dropped a lot of weight. Her mother dropped 55 pounds in 5 months. And her A1C was high. She was a diabetic. Okay. She was big. Went to the doctor said, your blood work is so, oh, and then he did A1C and he went, oh no, you're a diabetic. This is not good. So Denise put her mother on intermittent fasting. And she didn't even like eat well during her 6-hour window. She has a 6-hour window, but she only ate in that 6 hours. And she dropped the 55 pounds, went back to the doctor. She said the doctor looked at her like, what's going on? You know, so now he's testing her for cancer and stuff like that, you know, and it turns out that her blood work came back perfect. Her A1C was perfect. He goes, what did you do? Everything is perfect. You're not even a diabetic anymore. What happened? And she told him it's the intermittent fasting. That's what she does. So yeah, so I know there's definitely a lot to it. So this is my first day back, you know, on it. I know I dropped like 8 pounds in 1 week doing intermittent fasting, and I wasn't starving myself at all. I wasn't. So yeah, but that's for sure. So yeah, you can heal. So when you're not eating during that time, your body is able to go other places and put its energy in healing other places instead of spending all that time trying to digest all the food you're putting in your stomach. So yeah, absolutely, Michelle. Okay, I'm good.
and when you're doing that, you get into ketosis, which is burning the fat we have stored as opposed to the carbohydrates and the sugar that we take in. And once we start burning the fat, that's where you see a huge difference, because our body is a machine. And when you fast, it goes into shutdown. Well, I better just start stocking up. I better just, you know, this person's going to starve to death. But when you do the intermittent fasting, it really does make your body go into ketosis, and it really does help you burn the fat as opposed to the carbs.
Well, the body was made to feast and fast. That's what it was, because years and years ago, you know, and we're still, our bodies are still like that. You know, you were able to go out and you know, kill your food and whatever, but there was going to be a time when you weren't going to have that food, or you're not able to get out there and get your food, what you needed. So it's made to feast and then fast. That's what we're made to do. And then when you're not feeding it sugar and crap, that's when it turns around and it goes after the fat that's in your body, and it uses fat for energy as opposed to using your sugar for energy. And that is your carbs. Exactly. Using carbs and you know, alcohol, bread, cereal, all that stuff turns right into sugar, and your body uses that for energy as opposed to using your stored fat to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I bet
I know the science behind it. I just don't do it.
But I bet the majority of us, unbeknownst to us, have gluten intolerance also, because there's so many preservatives and you know, GMOs and
please, everybody, stop eating store-bought bread.
gluten,
Yes.
yeah.
I'm not even kidding, guys, because has anybody noticed? Remember when you used to buy a loaf of bread? Remember Michelle, a loaf of Wonder Bread, and if you left
Yep.
it out for a couple of days, it started growing green molded,
Yeah, that's
right?
right. Our
You
bread
notice
doesn't
that
now.
I've had a loaf of bread for 2 months and there's nothing wrong with it. You
Something's
know what I
wrong.
found out? They're putting formaldehyde in your bread.
Yeah, I looked
And
at
that's
labels.
what's making it stay so it has a longer shelf life. Guys, stop buying bread. If you want bread, get yourself a bread maker, put the ingredients in, press the button, and let it do its thing. If you need bread, stop buying store-bought bread.
And another factor of that is back a long time ago, like before World War II, they were putting, there was iodine in our bread products. And that's actually something that's really important for our bodies. And so by them taking that out, it became more that it stored in sugar, like bread created, the carbs turned into sugar better, but the iodine's actually really important for our diet. So that's actually something that I've started taking. Is just, it's one.
Show
I
your
get
stuff.
this-
Show it so people can see it.
I get this survival shield that's mirrored, sorry guys, but it's survival shield. I get it on infowars.com, their store.
InfoWars store.
Yeah, so
Maybe
this is
watch
the
it.
2X. All I need to do is just do, this is the key, because I made myself sick accidentally. I got mixed up between my dosage of my CBD oil and my dosage of my, it's 1 drop, not 1 dropper full, but 1 drop. I accidentally was doing 1 dropper full, and then that was why I was getting really sick a couple months ago. Remember when I was like feeling like crap? That's why, because I was overdosing on iodine. So I stopped taking it for a couple months to let my levels come back down with the iodine, but now I take 1 drop of iodine in the morning, and it makes such a difference in just your everyday, because this is something that you really need in your diet, but they've, for some reason,
They've taken out all the stuff that you need because they want you on pharmaceuticals. They want you. The pharmaceutical company rules the world. We can see that now with Pfizer, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson, all this stuff, and what they're pushing out there. So we can see that the world is run by the pharmaceutical companies. It's like they don't make enough money. You know, this is right down Michelle's alley. Michelle, you came in late. You didn't get to introduce yourself. You don't know Kari. So why don't you go ahead and give yourself an introduction? Hey, Brenda.
Brenda's here too.
Woo. Hey, woman. Go ahead, Michelle, give us your rendition of what you do, because it's really down your alley of the natural substance.
I can't express it enough, you know, just going natural. You know, 10 years ago, my husband was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, and it was a horrific disease. And what was really killing him softly was all of the, you know, the chemo, but it was also the pharmaceuticals. So he was on an extended morphine and then an as per needed morphine. And, you know, his appetite was affected, his personality, you know, he was losing energy. And what his oncology nurse said, you know, look, I can give, you know, New York State, I can give you the medicinal marijuana pill that we have, but it doesn't work because it's synthetic, it's man-made. So she said, go have your son buy some pot. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm a New York State teacher. I cannot have pot in my house. I cannot have my son, you know, but here's $300, honey, go find what you need to find. But what he did was he extracted the oil from the flowers of the marijuana and had a little THC in it, which is not bad for our body, but the majority was the medicinal side of the plant, which was the CBD, the cannabinol. So he extracted it. We made butter with it, and we put it on his English muffins every day, which would allow his appetite to increase. And then I could get 5 or 6 boosts or ensures in him. So I knew he was getting all the vitamins and minerals. And guess what? We got him off morphine. And, you know,
Yes.
then he started to gain weight, his cognition came back, his clarity of mind. Now, he had a terminal disease. We knew any day could be his last, but the quality of life he had the last 8 weeks
Was a lot better.
it was. And, you know, right after he passed, I went to cancer conferences and spoke as a caregiver and said, people go into comas because they're self-induced. Starving to death is one of the hardest and worst way to pass than you can. But, you know, so anyways, I was so passionate about it that I just said, you know what? I need to research this. My son moved to Colorado, started working in the business, started working with cancer patients. And he said, Mom, you've wrecked your knees working with little kids all these years, sitting in those baby little chairs. And I've been teaching all this week. You should have seen my ankles last night. They were cankles. They were this big when I got home. It was ridiculous. But, you know, it's so, our joints. So anyways, so I was using a topical pain relief with it. And he said, Mom, you need to start taking this oil and heal from the inside out. And since that, I used to have GERD. I don't have GERD anymore, because what your endocannabinoid system does is it realigns with the CBD. We all have CBD1 and CBD receptors in our body, and it helps it to bind. And all of a sudden my inflammation was going. All of a sudden I didn't have allergies anymore. My pain was going away. My inflammation was shrinking. So, you know, I said, you know what? I would be remiss not to share what I know with people. So he researched HempWorks, My Daily Choice. It's one of the pure CBDs there are. You need to look at your label. If you have more than 2 ingredients, they're putting additives in it. Now, those additives won't hurt you. Coconut oil is good for you, olive oil. But if you're using anything other than hemp seed oil, which you get from the plant, you're diluting the potency. So, you know, look at your, I wherever you get your CBD, I'm a proponent of it. But just check your labels and make sure you don't have more than 2 or 3 ingredients. So
Something else I want to say that has a bad rap is mushrooms. Shrooms, as they're called, you know, psychedelics kind of thing. Not for you to take it like, woo, baby kind of thing.
Yes.
But now my cousin is doing what's called microdosing.
Microdosing is huge. Yes.
And it's amazing for cognitive. It's like it brings you back up. As soon as I get back to Florida, because we're moving, by the way, everything works. We're moving. November 1st, we're moving. So Michelle, I got to get with you. Find out where the hell you are.
Carrie's face is making me crack up. She's like, these people are talking about CBD and
You're gonna get peyote next? I'm down for that.
No, we're not doing the hard stuff.
Microdosing is good for the cognitive, for the brain, for healing, for so much stuff. Now, if you guys can get a hold of it, and this you can get on Amazon. I hate saying Amazon. I hate that company. But you know what? They're like a necessary evil. It's called lion's mane. Lion's mane is a mushroom. And it comes in on a pill form. It doesn't do anything to you. It doesn't make you feel, you know, whoop or anything like that. But it's also good for cognitive abilities. And if you can get it, all I'm saying, it's one of those things, along with your silver and your zinc and your apple cider vinegar, you need to take lion's mane as well. And then of course, you know, as soon as I get to Florida, and I'm going to get with my cousin because she almost could be like a homeopathic doctor.
Yeah.
Okay. She's just so well versed in every freaking thing for her daughter. By the way, her daughter is like blossoming. She's in remission. Everything is fine. And this is all with everything that, you know, she's done.
Going natural. Absolutely.
And CBD was a big freaking thing on that. CBD was big for them.
It really is. Yeah.
But they did. So, but microdosing is amazing. So I'm going to start all that stuff because I told you my brain is going. I'm like, I can't remember shit. Seriously. And I'm not even kidding. And I don't want to cut us short here, but I just want to say, because Brenda joined us and Brenda doesn't know Kari. So Brenda, if you want to give yourself a little introduction and then we'll go back into our healthy talking because I'm really having a good time.
Okay. So good. Hi guys. So Brenda Otto here with Sunray Travel. I am the agency owner. So I own the agency and I'm also a travel advisor. So the world is just crazy. So my advice moving forward is if you're planning on traveling outside the country, use a travel advisor. Whether you use me or you use somebody else, use a travel advisor. The other important thing you need to know is there's so many protocols that are out there and they change daily. And I
don't know how you keep up with it.
I pay for a service that provides me with the updated information as it changes daily. So I am able to advise my clients on a regular basis on what the protocols are and as they change. The other thing too is what I recommend is I highly recommend travel insurance. And travel insurance can really only be purchased through a travel agency. So what I do is I create experiences, okay? So I work with clients who are not just looking for that regular vacation, they want an experience. And that's what I create for them. And I do all of it. I plan it, I'm with them 24/7. They can reach me at any time. I've had clients the past 2 weeks reach me from Alaska, from Paris, I mean, with any questions that they have, and I'm always available to them. So I basically curate your trip, I advocate for you, and I make sure that you have all the information required to whatever destination that you want to go to. So travel does not have to be, look at, we go on vacation to alleviate stress. You don't want to add stress in order to go on vacation. And that's what my role is to try to alleviate some of that stress for you as I plan everything out. So good referrals for me are couples that are looking to either have a honeymoon or an anniversary, or they just want a vacation where they can relax. That's what I do. Brenda Otto at Sunray Travel, your next destination starts here. And if I could just comment on what Michelle was saying about CBD. My husband and I have taken, and we learned this from the manager of the horse farm behind us. He was from Mexico, and his dad is an orthopedic doctor in Mexico. And what they do is they take the leaves from the pot plants and you soak them in alcohol until they become a paste. And then you can apply this paste to wherever it is on your body that hurts. Now, I have arthritis in my foot and I have arthritis in my knees. So my husband would take this paste and wrap my foot and wrap my knees in it. And let me tell you, we did it for just a couple of days in a row. And for 3 to 6 months, I had absolutely no pain whatsoever from the arthritis. And when I went to my doctors and they said, well, you've got arthritis and I can prescribe you something, but it's not going to do anything. Well, then why prescribe something that's not going to do anything just so that I can take medication? Doesn't make sense. So I agree with Michelle that there are alternatives as far as, bettering your health, and CBD and is just one of those things. So when you were talking about that, I was like, oh, we create this paste and it works. So thank you.
Awesome.
Oh, thank you for that input, but we're just true. Go ahead, Kari.
So alcohol, you mean like rubbing alcohol or like tequila?
No. Well, you can have tequila with it while you're letting the paste soak in, but no, rubbing alcohol.
That'll help too.
Tequila's good too. 1 tequila, 2 tequila, 3 tequila, 4. That's what happens.
Yeah, and I mean, while you have the paste on, and sometimes I would, if it was wrapped good enough, I would leave it on while I slept. Okay. But if you can't do that, I would leave the paste on for a few hours, and then you can also do shots of tequila while you're waiting for it to take place. But that's your option.
The tequila is like the short term and the paste is like the long term.
Yeah. Well, I guess what is that the THC or whatever really soaks in.
Well, it goes down 6 to 7 layers of skin.
Yeah.
Yes, and it really penetrates through, and I felt immediate relief, and it lasted for a long time. It wasn't just like a quick, you know what I mean, in a couple of days I was back into pain. No, I went sometimes as long as 6 months before I needed to do another treatment. And for me, I would rather do that than take medication or drugs that's not going to work, you know what I mean, and whatever.
I actually microdose, we do similarly that we make butter and then we make Rice Krispie treats. And then I'll just take a little nibble every night before, like when I'm heading up to go to bed to go and read. And it just, you get that like feeling
Euphoric.
like a warm blanket just laying on, like nice heavy warm blanket on you, and just I'm able to sleep because I have horrible time getting to sleep every night. So I've been doing that for the last couple months, and wow, what a difference. If you're having difficulty sleeping, that's a really good way of doing it. And especially if like I'm not good with that head high kind of feeling. It makes me all paranoid and like freaked out. By the time I would get there, I'm like asleep. So I wake up in the morning, I got the munchies, I'm ready for breakfast.
Oh, she goes, there she goes. Well, I'm talking about microdosing shrooms, mushrooms.
Well, that's
microdosing. Yeah.
That
So
could be good.
She's laughing.
She's laughing. She's like, what are Griff and I getting into here?
They just keep saying shrooms, and all I'm thinking about is like
psychedelics. It is a psychedelics.
Alice in Wonderland.
And the big thing, you're just taking a tiny bit, and it's for the brain.
Well,
They've also been experimenting with LSD and microdosing.
Yes, they have. For psychosis and for schizophrenia. Yes, they have.
There's some amazing.
There isn't, I mean, not to get religious or sound religious, but we were given everything on the earth to live.
Yes.
And what man has done is poisoned it. Mm-hmm. So when you think back,
taken it away from us,
right, or added to
it's
it,
been
or
taken away by our corporations, by big corporations, because they want to make
everything the Native Americans did and had, they got from the earth. Mm-hmm. And if you know, I'm 66. I watched the old Westerns, I'm aging myself, but the medicine man that came through the little towns, he took it from marijuana plants, their cannabis. That's what he had. And that's what they used. But when prohibition came through, they threw that out as the gateway to heroin, and, they threw that out with baby with the bathwater. So all cannabis in the United States is legal under 0.3% THC with the Farm Act of 2018. So it's coming back. And, in another couple of years, when we get big pharma out of the picture, we will be much healthier and we will live longer.
I'm a believer in it. I mean, my husband has chronic pain issues. He's had 56 different surgeries, so I would much rather have him use a CBD or, an herbal remedy than the opioids.
Because that wreaks havoc with your body, addictions, and also your liver, your stomach lining. Terrible.
Yeah.
I've been a fan since the 70s.
Well, see, there you go. Yeah. That's why you're so happy all the time.
That's it. There you go.
There you go.
Something that I got a long time ago was the Druid's Herbal.
Oh yeah.
And that has tons of different plants, and there's honeysuckle and what it can do for you, herbal uses, and it'll give you there's tons of different herbal uses for honeysuckle.
Next week, if you're looking for someone, we just, we have, we're kind of a mini Amazon, My Daily Choice, which HempWorks is part of that brand, house of brands. But we have an essential oil brand. So I've been doing some research on essential oil. We just came out with these essential oil roll-ons that have CBD in them. Ooh. So I would love to give you just a little insert on how effective essential oils are. And not to get biblical again or get real religious here, but what did they bring Jesus? Frankincense and myrrh. Okay. So they've been using essential oils for years. And If
You
you do
notice
any-
all this stuff is starting to come back a little at a time,
Little at a time.
There's still people so resistant because I only do what my doctor says and he writes a
I
script
know,
and
I
he gets a kickback. Kickback
absolutely,
money wax. That's what it's all about.
absolutely. But
And
if you look at the Egyptians and how did they wrap their mummies? They put essential oils over them first. They wrap them up because of the, promised, rebirth. And many of the mummies that they have in museums where they've unwrapped, their skin was still intact.
still there. Yes.
So why is that? Essential oil. So I'd love to, because I'm overwhelmed. My mind went, whoa, I had no idea the benefits of essential oils. So I would love to talk about it next week if you want me to.
Do you want to
Yes.
be a speaker or helpful hints?
A speaker, because how long do I get? You know me, my degree in talking.
15. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
probably better.
15.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
Good. Yeah, we better give her the long one.
Yeah, give me the long one, you know me.
Yeah, I know.
I'm a speech pathologist, Carrie, just so you
No,
know.
that's
why-
awesome. Yeah.
I've got-
Everything you need, everything you need to heal. I was looking at this book that I want to get. I think I have it in my cart and on Amazon. Sorry. Here we go again with Amazon. But where these weeds outside are not weeds, they're actual food for
Yes.
you to eat. I mean, dandelion, everybody knows dandelions, you can eat dandelions, we know that, but there are like parsley, this other weed that usually is kind of a spreader. You usually see it in your pavements or whatever. Pick that shit, wash it off and throw it in a salad. And the stuff that this stuff will do for you is amazing. You know what? It's in your yard. If you haven't sprayed anything or anything like that, then it's
Right.
it's natural and it should be safe and as safe as the environment can be these days. But there's so much that you can just go through the woods and spot something and grab it and harvest it and have it for dinner, or lunch or something. There's just, so I'm learning so many things. It's just amazing to me. It really is that there's so much you can just go out and not even buy at the store. Just it's in your backyard. It's in your local forest, or local woods or whatever, on your walk down the trail where Christine, where'd Christine go?
She texted me. She was getting like all these phone calls from family members. So
Oh, okay. All
phone
right.
just kept ringing. I was like, oh, it's no problem. Don't worry.
Yeah, when she was on that walk, I saw a lot of greenery. There was probably stuff there that she probably could have picked and taken with her. It just
Absolutely.
amazes me. It really does.
I just want to quickly open it up because I know Carrie and I have a 11:45, so we're gonna have to leave soon. But I
Yeah.
just wanted to open the floor up for if anybody has any announcements. Do they have any sales or anything that they would like to share? I do. I'm just gonna open it up for anybody. No.
I just to reiterate my call, the free consultation with that link I sent for a phone call, to get some insight into helping your online presence.
Perfect. That's awesome.
Did you put it in the chat?
I did. I could put it in again.
It might have been before they came in, so they might not.
It might have been. Let me do that again. Yeah. I got a copy.
I
of that link
don't
again.
see anything in the chat.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's because
Maybe
you
when
came
I
in
came on,
afterwards.
I disrupted things.
You could probably
So, okay.
scroll up and
Just like you, Brenda.
Sorry,
There is the link to the calendar once again.
I do
Thank
that.
you.
oh, I see it. You sent it to me.
Oh, I sent it to you. Okay, hold on. I lied.
It's
It's
okay.
not
I
there.
got it. It's,
Well, I could just as easily do this again.
or that.
Do the drop down and send it to everyone. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
got it. Yep.
I didn't realize I had it just to her. I didn't look.
No, it's okay.
And then save the chat with the little 3 dots.
Yeah.
Those little dots there. Yeah.
Now,
We'll
for me,
separate.
for Carrie and I, both actually, I've told you guys about the security system here that I have that we refer out for. This, I think it's the last 2 days. So until tomorrow, the end of the day tomorrow, if you guys call and set up a install for before like the 30th or before, you can get free installation, free activation, and $225 off of your equipment. And they do have financing for equipment. I actually took advantage of that, and it's I think between what I pay per month and what for the service, the monitoring, and for the equipment itself, I pay under $100 a month for it. And this is a really, really good security system. You can tie it in with, they have thermostats, they have the light switches, so you can be away from home. So perfect example, like Brenda, if one of your clients is away on vacation and they're like, did I lock the door? They can bring up the app and they can make sure the doors are locked. They can turn down the thermostat. They can turn certain lights on so it looks like people are home, and there's also cameras. So there's a lot of people that like, maybe they'll have an indoor camera in their garage and they have the garage door on it so that ding dong, the mailman, the UPS guy has a package for you. You're not home, but you could say, hey, can you just I'm going to open my garage door. Can you put it inside the garage door? And you can roll it up and you can have that camera and you could see that they put it in there and they leave, and then you can close the door behind them. There's a lot of people that really take advantage of it's a security system and a smart home. It's fantastic. I love it. So I'm actually going to probably get a couple more pieces of equipment to add to my arsenal. So it's really good. I think
it's a good idea.
Interested, I can throw in that phone number and the promo code and my solution number that you guys can take advantage of it. Just let me know.
Can't hurt, put it in. Can't hurt at all.
Yeah. So that's, I don't
Is
know.
that all the announcements? Anyone else have announcements? All right, here we go.
Okay, so I know we're gonna have to, I don't know if Kari, do you need a little time before our next meeting? You're good?
Yeah, no, I'm good. I have everything already.
Okay, perfect.
But I do have to maybe use the little girl's room.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
It's down the hall on the left.
And do our sign off. Go ahead.
It is down the left.
So can I ask?
I was 50-50 on that one. I really was.
Go ahead, Brenda.
Joanne and Megan, are you still going to continue this after you move, or?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
We were
that's
thinking
what's good.
about changing the day because
would
it
be
seems
best.
Friday is a pain for people. Is it a pain for you guys?
Well, I don't know if,
Um,
I was even thinking about, even if we didn't change the day, is like maybe
adding a
adding
day?
another appointment.
Friday, for me, if I'm going to do something, I'm usually going to escape on a Friday, to go someplace. And a lot of time, like I have, like the next week, I can't be here because I have a convention that's going on that day. I think sometimes Fridays, and I'm only saying this because I'm an ex-BNIer and they never do meetings on Fridays because usually at that point, people don't want to think business, they want to think weekend.
Oh,
Well,
all right.
So,
Well,
So
the
I
ELT
noticed-
breakfast.
if you notice, BNI meetings run Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, because that's usually Mondays. Nobody's alive because it's the day after the weekend,
It's
so
Monday.
nobody's functionable.
Yeah.
And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is when everybody kind of gets their groove back. And then Friday, it starts all over again with planning for the weekend.
Although they do the ELT breakfast on Friday.
Yeah, that's for leadership. So,
Right.
if you're a president or vice president, but that's why they do that, because they don't schedule meetings on Fridays because leadership.
It's a mindset.
But
It is a mindset.
I'm okay with whatever day. I sometimes find that Fridays are difficult, but I'm always around, Tuesdays, Wednesdays.
Maybe like a
Thursdays.
Tuesday.
Yeah, see, like this morning, I was working on an itinerary for somebody, and I realized, oh, wow, look at the time. I'm here, I could jump on.
Yeah.
Whereas, last week I don't think I was around. Yeah.
Maybe we'll just add another day. We'll just say like a
That's-
Wednesday.
I mean-
You know what? I would just do a poll and see, like of all the people that come, do a poll. And if everybody's still agreeing with Fridays, I mean, then Fridays, it is. I'd like to see it a little bit earlier, only because when you have so many people on, it runs into like noon. But
Yeah.
I come when I can make it. I mean, it's up to you guys. You're running it. It's your thing. So you guys, figure it out.
I mean, I was almost thinking, because there's people that I've been trying to bring on and they really want to come, but Friday mornings are not good for them. But you guys, there's people that find that this is the best time. I thought maybe adding another one that maybe was like an early evening, kind of like a happy hour kind of one, a little more loosey-goosey kind of.
I'm asking Brenda because she has so much experience in this, so it kind of.
Well, I belong to another networking group, and they do a meeting at night, and it's convenient for people who have busy schedules during the day.
Yeah.
But what I find at night, I mean, after 6 o'clock at night or after 7, like 6:30, my brain starts to check out.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Me too.
I don't
If you
have
watch my
I don't have
lives,
as much
it gets funny.
energy, and I'm thinking, dinner and cocktails. I'm not thinking networking unless I'm outside, at an event, that kind of thing. So
Like a Wednesday 9 a.m. kind of thing.
Yeah, it's kind of, like I find this is just me, and everybody is different. I find that when I meet with people in the morning, that a lot of times you guys inspire me.
Mhm.
And that helps me get through the day better. It kind of gives me that jump start, like instead of coffee or tea, that caffeine. It gives you that, like you'll hear things from people that are participating that might inspire you or might just set your day in a positive note. And then I find that the rest of my day becomes more positive if I have an early morning meeting,
Yes.
So that's just me.
Like
Everybody's
minds, all
different.
like minds, yeah.
Yeah. So, whatever you guys decide to do, you just let me know, and I'll just, I'll join when I can join on. Like today I was here, so I wasn't planning on being here. I thought I would be at ShopRite, but I was planning an itinerary, and it took a little bit longer than I thought to get all my ducks in a row. So when I was done, I'm like, oh, I can jump on. So.
Well, I think your idea about putting a poll in is a really good idea. Maybe we'll throw in something in the group and see if we can get, because we actually have a lot of
Do a poll in
people
the chat.
that,
There's
Well,
the poll, yes.
yeah.
You just click the little thing on the left and it brings a poll up.
Mhm.
Thing on the left.
I mean, there's
Yeah,
Where
the
you'll see
chat,
where
but-
But I mean,
the
you
gifts
could-
are, the gifts or your photos.
Right.
There's a plus. You hit the plus and a poll will come up.
Yeah,
whole
you could
option.
do the poll in Facebook and send it in Messenger to people that you've been trying to reach out to, and maybe
think that-
find out that way
Yeah,
who's
I like
interested.
that idea.
Yeah.
Because I know myself, I've been reaching out to a couple people and they're like, I really want to come, but that's right when I have a standing schedule every week.
Right.
And I've been
Yeah.
asked so many times in the last 2 or 3 weeks, like, do we have another meeting date? Like, they'd love to come to a meeting, but like that day is not good. So,
Right.
I mean, I would love to keep this Friday morning because I feel like it really gives me that last little nudge to get through Friday. I'm like usually running on exhaust fumes by the time I get to Friday that I'm like, I don't want to work. But then having this time to kind of connect with you guys really helps me on Fridays. But then, a thought of doing another meeting maybe earlier in the week. I mean, the evenings would probably be a little more difficult, but like a morning, maybe a little bit earlier. I'm not much of a morning person. I don't know if I could do like an 8 a.m. Be like, how do I use a computer?
Oh my God. Literally rolling my head.
I like mornings. I like doing early, not that early. 8 o'clock is, I prefer like 9.
Yeah.
But I used to do BNI like Richard, and 7 a.m. was definitely,
Oh my God,
needed a
that's
lot of
awesome.
caffeine to get me going. But
Well, that's why I'm in a lunch chapter.
yeah, so 9 a.m., 8 a.m. For me, when I do early morning meetings, it kind of sets the tone for the day for me. You know what I mean? I get to meet people, talk to people. They inspire me. They'll, you learn something new, and it starts the day off on a positive note. And I prefer, that I like that. That's why I like joining these groups, because, you get that positivity, because sometimes it's not always, especially now in the world, there's not much positivity. So, whatever you can gather from other people, it just helps get your day going. So.
Yeah. Definitely. Okay, so I'll
Right.
like we'll put together a poll on the
Yeah.
PNN page, and then even like if you guys can share it out too, that would be
Yeah.
awesome.
That would
Like,
be great. Mhm.
those people that we're trying to get in, we want to try and get that good time that's like the
Right.
most people are able to make it.
Sure.
So
Sure.
awesome.
That'd be
Okay.
great. That'd
So
be
All right, great.
I'm
All
gonna
right, guys.
stop.
Have a great weekend,
recording.
everyone.
All right.
Have a good
great
weekend.
All right. Have a great weekend, everybody.